Have you ever felt stuck in the same thinking patterns? Like you keep approaching problems the same way, but never seem to find new solutions? Thinking outside the box isn't just for inventors or entrepreneurs. It's a skill that can change your life. Whether you want to solve problems faster, boost creativity, or just see the world differently, the ability to think differently can be a game changer. Why do we get stuck in the box? Our brains are designed to find patterns and stick to them. It's efficient. But the problem is, we get so used to familiar patterns that we stop seeing new possibilities. Think about this. Have you ever struggled to find your keys, only to realize they were right in front of you? That's not just forgetfulness. It's your brain filtering out what it thinks is unimportant. It assumes the keys aren't there, so it doesn't even register them. This happens in all areas of life. You think the only way to make money is a job. The only way to learn is school. The only way to solve a problem is the way you've always done it. But what if you could train your brain to see beyond that? One of the easiest ways to break out of routine thinking is to change your perspective. Literally. The coffee cup trick. Tomorrow morning, pick up your coffee cup with your non-dominant hand. Feels awkward, right? But that tiny shift forces your brain to process new information. The more you disrupt small habits, the more flexible your thinking becomes. The $1 business challenge. Imagine you only have $1 to start a business. What would you do? This forces resourceful thinking. Did you know Airbnb started because two guys were broke and decided to rent out air mattresses in their living room? That's what outside-the-box thinking looks like. Try asking yourself, what's another way to do this? Every time you face a problem, flip the problem upside down. Most people try to solve problems in a straight line, but the secret is to flip the problem upside down. Instead of thinking, I can't afford this, ask, how can I afford this? Instead of saying, I don't have time, ask, what am I prioritizing over this? Simple reframing opens new possibilities. For example, you're in a long checkout line. Instead of waiting, ask the person in front, I only have one item. Would you mind if I go ahead? Most people will say yes. Instead of driving in circles for a front row parking spot, park at the exit and walk. It's faster. See? Sometimes the best solution is not the obvious one. A powerful way to break mental blocks is to start asking, what if? What if my job didn't exist? How else could I make money? What if I did the opposite of what I normally do? What if I turned a mistake into an opportunity? The post-it note was actually an accident. Scientists were trying to invent a strong glue, but ended up with a weak one. Instead of throwing it away, someone asked, what if this weak glue could be useful? That's how post-it notes were born. Now, imagine how many ideas you've ignored just because they didn't seem useful at first. One of the biggest killers of creativity? Routine. Your brain thrives on novelty. So, the more you mix things up, the more creative you become. Try these small but effective changes. Take a different route. If you always take the same road to work, try a new one. Your brain will start noticing details it usually ignores. Talk to a stranger. Your best ideas might come from an unexpected conversation. Reverse your schedule. Work at night instead of the morning for a day. Notice how your thought process changes. Even small shifts in routine force your brain to think differently. We all have hidden assumptions that limit our thinking. The best way to break them? Challenge yourself. The blindfold test. Try doing a simple task blindfolded, like making a sandwich. It forces you to rely on senses you usually ignore. The left hand challenge. Write with your left hand, or write if you're left-handed, for a day. It's frustrating, but it forces your brain to adapt. The next time you face a problem, ask yourself, is this the only way to do it? All right, now it's your turn. For the next 24 hours, do one thing differently. It could be how you dress, how you eat, how you talk to people, anything. Drop a comment below. Every click brings us closer. Subscribe for more stories.